Your lungs are shaking. Are your lungs shaking? Yeah. What kind of fucking science is that? NASA? You believe in NASA? Well, it's a building, isn't it? I have cancer. That's what I'm supposed to say. I actually did, yeah. But the corona was trying to attack me and it would have killed me. And I was in the hospital like every fucking day in the emergency room every fucking day. Trying not to shit the bed when all the fucking bathrooms were full. Kind of thing. Because I'm awkward. My bowel movements are completely fucking awkward. Like they're the randomest, scarcest times. Yeah. Anyway, Lauren. I think her name's Lauren. We were becoming friends at work, and we can totally still be friends. But I had to, when I was talking to her walking backwards down the hallway, I'm just like, we crack a joke. I fucked her once and then I stayed and became a good person for her. And she's like, is that really that bad? I was like, no, that's why we crack it. She's like, I was like, about me and Justin. Because she's wondering, she's like, your boyfriend's actual name is Justin Trudeau. And I found that out and I was like, that girl must be treated really well. I'm like, well, yeah, his jokes are pretty freaking gruesome and gross sometimes and crude. Because, like, you want to believe that it just flowers. You want to believe it. Get close to me in there. You want to believe it, but it doesn't happen for, like, very often, so I went and got checked for cancer. Yeah. It was opening. I was dying. I really was. Like, it was so fast. It was so weird. I think I was sitting on top of a tube of gas. The bench was. Ryan G is completely my uncle. That's my dad's cousin. Yeah. I wouldn't cheat on you, Justin. Like, I can't even get close to a lot of my cousins because it feels like it's like just too much of an energy expense. And like Eric always wanted to be out there when we were biking. We only biked on clean air days. So then I get really depressed because me and Justin had to commute on longboard during all the bad weather. We're always coughing up stuff. Going to the doctor so we don't get secondary infections. You poor fella. Like, I'm sure you wanted to marry someone who has an electric car, but the thing is, it's one through being the most outstanding staff member of Elon Musk. So, she gets a battery for being the first to know. Yeah, she was the first to know too. She got the car and she got the battery from me. It's just not out yet. And everybody else wants retirement. So that I can do. Samson's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, we don't get paid very much. We don't, it's not that much. I was like, before I came to Northern Health, I was making $2,200 a month working fashion for Gucci and Prada and all that stuff. Yeah. At the children's place. The the executive leader, like the CEO, would come in and do little games and throw out Hershey Kisses at everybody. $2,200. That's that's no retirement though. No, you get a ball gown and you're sent home. That's why I got out of it. Plus, I was starting to. Well, I think I got a scratch on my eye, like right there. Honestly, maybe it's just from the chemo. It could have been a scratch, but nobody can afford food for their kids except me. No, actually, Lauren's telling me I could live in my car if it really comes down to it. I can adopt my kids to somebody else. I was like, oh. And she's like, well, you have to do the same. I was like, but to my brother. In my house. So I can kind of just knock on the door almost at any time whenever they're actually freaking home. Because Shauna's parents own a lake house that they just built. It's basically a shop. But above the shop, there's some bedrooms. And it's basically just a garage. It's got a balcony up above. I should go hang out on the balcony this summer if that's okay. Because I just want my secluded time still. I don't find very much peace here in the city because I get a whiff of fucking exhaust or whatever. It'd be nice to hear the boats though. I like that. I'm such a lake girl. But honestly, I was 16 when I couldn't get up on the board anymore, on the wake or knee board. Yeah, I couldn't get up anymore. It was like, I beat the shit out of myself, and it's all insured, everything. So my daughter seems smarter than me, so I'm happy. And Brylan is perfectly okay in herself. So is Cohen. They don't do the evil monkey. They do the evil monkey to each other, though. They're older. It's funny. She takes her underwear off. She's like, "Wee!" I'm like, oh, "You are healthy because you're supposed to know that's not something to hide all the time. You're not supposed to be an internet dweeb at 3. Maybe never." Well, yeah, I thought Justin would have said to me that he was cheating on me. Like he doesn't even get close to Cassandra, and he ignores Joel. Because Joel's always busy getting the guitars ready, and then we have a jamboree. Yeah, write a few songs for the book of friendship and family, because that's his family. That's his family married to my family. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I thought Cassandra was a cousin, but she used to text us. She is family. I can't come out biking because I'm a bitch. But her parents had no money and she wanted to have a kid, and only had enough money to adopt her kid for her. But yeah, Eric Baru used to come out. He's a bit older, but anyway, he wanted to give me a compliment, and he's like, I wish you'd cheat on Justin with me. I'm like, maybe when you're not so sick, bud. Every time I talk, because it's a vibrato, you cough, and then I forget what I'm saying. He's still in the fucking hospital. He just comes over when he's for like 5 minutes, smokes some dope, and then goes back. Yeah. He's probably sicker than the dog now because of the smoke. Yeah, Eric Baru used to come out and fucking bike with us. He might have actually hurt his back out there. He's a boxer, but he doesn't go in the ring, is what he said. But he got a black eye, and I was like, are you bleeding internally? Like, honestly. From boxing or just from being sick? He's like, I'm just sick. Boxing is just a cardio class. I was like, okay. And then he was talking about getting punched in the face and all that stuff so much. I thought we're gonna fucking have some rough sex. Like I was actually kind of scared of him, but because why would you do that? Break the law, beat up a Canadian, plus get punched in the fucking face a lot, and head, and punch a lot. And you're just doing it every weekend. It's a good way to end up in a wheelchair. And there's something that finally I found something last night that I don't relate to in Hustle Standard and Jake Hill and Rob Bailey. I forget, like your morals. Like I think I have a slip moral or I just don't relate or something. I thought of something last night, but I didn't want to go online because it was just like, yeah, this is so me. Oh, that's so great. Uh, you're you and I'm me. Feels good to not be the weird one. If only I can remember what the reason was. Oh yeah, it's the Lord is my shepherd. My grandma was so adorable. She must have gone at a convention or something. Craft fair. The Lord is your shepherd. That's how you get better. You pray and you talk about God and it wires your brain perfectly to understand that you yourself is a fucking God. Sometimes you just can't rise above it anymore. I'm sure I'll make it to really old and I'll get better. But no, the cancer was really bad. It was scary. I was just like on the couch all the time, getting pneumonia all the time, only waking up when somebody pulled me up and patted my back till I coughed all out. Not because I thought my life was over and I was depressed. I was depressed from the malnutrition after. It's because it was closing down here on my esophagus and everything. And my feet were like pads of like soreness. Yeah, I think there was like a tube that when I stepped it let out the gases underneath the soil. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what Ryan G even said too. That's probably where I got it from. I probably said, "Was there a fucking tube?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. I'll check when you're out of here so you don't die of heartbreak." One time I don't check camp, eh? Plus, you get it in your face even if you rake up shit. Usually, not all the time. There's a certain raking technique. You usually can. Lots of people get cancer by raking up camp. Pretty freaking sad. Um, Norosox. It's actually a Russian drug, and they were stealing it from Russia, as Russia proclaimed. And I want to believe it because Putin is literally my half grandpa. He's my half great uncle. And Adolf Hitler was my grandpa's great grandpa. They were at peace with one time one time my grandpa's mom fucking felt the Frisco, but nobody would believe her. And they, well, it's hard to think about all this at once, but we are kind of at peace. But you know, if Germany's gonna have so many terrorists and not know how to place their country and not take advice, right? Now, thanks. Now Putin's an asshole and Adolf Hitler is a cunt and my grandpa's a fucking bastard. No, not true. They hung out all the time. Adolf Hitler, it was always lied about, but doesn't make him a fucking cunt. It's that there's terrorists within the government and stuff in Germany right now, and the whole point is to get the good people and revive the country after we kill all those fucking. I've shot so many Germans now, but I never tell anybody. I never act like I've killed anybody. I kind of keep my kill stance on a low. Walking through Germany because I'm trying to tell the good people, hey, I am fucking German. That's why I say fucking, and my French is so flock, and my English is so, god damn it, I hate this hellhole. Justin was speaking English for so many years. He's like, I want to stop. So when I text him that I want to have frisky good time with you, something like that. I said, what did I say? Let's check my message I sent my mom yesterday. I told her about it. Where did I say it? I said something that. Oh, right here it should be. I said sex is a joke in French, but I want to do you. He said thank you. I've never been a liberal before in my life, and I have the inside scoop. Okay, it's cheating. It's not my vote. My dad was a liberal too. He was prime minister in 1996. Oh, I was gonna change it to Ellen because I thought Elon was wrong. I'm so bad with names and dates. And his dad, I forget what he called himself when he was a prime minister, but and Trudeau was always take the lower stance. No, we were trying to protect the liberals to have a good upholding to bring in someone who is worthy, who really wanted to care about the poor and embrace the rich. And every time we do that, a war happens. So we need a good militant eventually too. And I'm the good militant that they all prophesized. Yeah. 20 years before I was born, they prophesized me being born. My mom always dated my dad too, yeah. My dad tells a story that he had another wife, but just because he didn't like that he got a bit of cancer when he was younger too. And the nurse had to flick his penis, and he did not like that. So we would say that my cousin Toby and cousin Nathan and this hunter guy died. Hunter's son of a hunter. A son named Hunter died. They're giving me an injection to get a blood clot out of my hooch, and I was pouring blood in my pants. And they had to look, and I flinched because it was just like the draining lethargia, anemia feeling. Pull my pants down, I'm like, oh, okay. You're the worst period in the world. And I would think, like, as I was waking up, all my nightmares would be at the forefront because I had blood clot up there, and it was like pouring down, clotting. But it wasn't actually coming out. And I was all sick and shit. So it was like, Justin, just like, but you didn't look like you very much. So, yeah, That's why I can't take the jokes I fucked you in your sleep. No, I can't. Fucking suffocating from my vagina up. A roller. Because it was just so disgusting and I was in so much pain. That's why my incision is. I won't show you, but it's kind of like an indent. It's getting better though. It was indented right in the middle. The house full of mirrors. That's me and Justin. Real mirrors. That's just symbolism for us. It'd be for us unwell and dasking. I kind of hurt my hip bones to touch it. Oh, now I got a sore spot. They're gonna kill me. There was people that went turned into rapists up there, you guys. Yeah, there was. The ones that were actually hurt, and then the ones that were just feeling like they didn't want to do anymore, and then went paranoid because you're always thinking about killing bad people, but you don't do it. That's why I'll just keep going if I can, if I don't get like actual sickness leave. Yeah. It's like you're always thinking about it, but you're not doing it. I never would have thought about it, is what is proven. Like most people would have never thought about ever going out and being a vigilante if it, like, even though Batman's a thing, right? You'll never be erased, hopefully. You just would not think about it unless there's actually something going on. Not to say you're accurate when you're like throwing stones. I think it has a lot to do with Putin's grieving, and that's what everyone thinks too. But I was just shooting all the criminals because, hey, anything you say, Grandpa, that I find irrational, we can legally kill their criminals at that point. And I think he's just really sad because he misses his step great grandpa. Because you know your great grandparents on the odds, right? So Justin was always so sad too and really delirious and kind of picking fights with me a little bit because there was no great grandparents on his side for Coral, but he still wanted to have a kid. And my great grandparents I had for her fucking punched her, smacked her or something. So, wanna fight? Putin misses Adolf Hitler, and Germany doesn't want to understand is how he feels. So he's like, you know what? If you can't write me a proper fucking serum, I'm just gonna kill all your criminals, and it might explode into something huge. So be on your best behavior, Canadians and United Nations people, our nation. Forgot about that part. I know I didn't. No, I didn't. I just couldn't. Wow. My Uncle Grant passed away, and I can't cope with it when it all comes about. I just go, he was a fucking CIA man. He was a fucking dope. Pretty much. You shouldn't say CIA and dope is a matter of compliments at the same fucking time. So I'm sorry. It's because it ruined my first days with my daughter, but it's not his fault, right? So it's not anyone's fault. So they're like fucking terrorists. I'm just gonna say terrorists because who's really to blame when Russia and Germany are fighting? That fucking other half of Thailand. A lot of Taiwanese like German too. And I woke up thinking, holy fuck, did I catch a fucking STD from people sleeping in my bed when I'm not home? No. It's just gonna take a while, and then the irritation happens. And that's when the buckwheats comes into play. I don't have any toilet paper, but you know, uh, everybody, like there's a lot of Germans in the family, and obviously a lot of Russians. And I always tell myself the only way to calm down in these situations is tell yourself you're just a fucking French, English, native Métis, and that's all that matters. You're in Canada. You don't have to worry about other people's shit all the time. Because that's what's happening. That's what I know so far. That's what I can tell you so far. I freaking crack up and not up in here a lot too. There's pictures. There's a whole fucking salute to me um, on the fucking internet by angry cops. Yeah, I'm really fucking pretty. That's what everyone said too. Yeah, you are like the actual visual of you is really pretty. Thank you. I try not to get haggard. I look Canadian. I am Canadian.